support our businesses and protect them, and then everyone's called a white supremacist? I'm sorry, but we're not white supremacists. Well, I guess I'm not. Yes, I am, because the term nowadays, white supremacist, means you're a patriot. So I have a sign that I do carry sometimes, and I say proud white supremacist, because a white supremacist is a patriot. And I don't appreciate defining people by their race, by their sex, by their beliefs, by their values, etc. We are all Americans, and I think coming up with a resolution like that divides our city even further.
She's a proud white supremacist, and she carries a sign that says proud white supremacist because white supremacists are patriots. But she doesn't like to be defined by race, even though she carries a sign defining herself by race. She also said, if you listen to the quote, she doesn't like to be defined, doesn't like people to be defined by values either. Well, that's the one definition that actually does count. Your character, your values, how you express to the broader world around you. We do have more information about this self-admitted white supremacist. She considers herself to be a minority, by the way, really interesting. Let's put up a picture, full throttle here, all right? This was at an Idaho City meeting, Hayden, the council meeting this week announced before her neighbors, friends and the cameras, that she is a proud white supremacist, declaring that nowadays that means you're actually a patriot. The woman, who says she's lived in Hayden for several years, repeatedly used the phrase white supremacist. She also said she identifies as a minority and probably the only minority in the room. She had asked to be allowed to address the city council to respond to the previous speaker, who urged members to consider, get this, adopting a resolution stating Hayden values diversity and condemns racism and white supremacy and any groups that promote it. How in the hell has that now become controversial? Now remember, this is likely, a Karen in real life, by the way. We just haven't caught her in a Karen moment, but almost, right? This is close to Karenicity, what you're saying. The city council simply said, we would like to present a resolution, non-binding resolution, to say, hey, our city's not racist. You cool with that? No, she's not cool with that. But she is cool with running around that city with a sign that says, I'm a proud white supremacist. No, she's down with that program. But as soon as you start saying that this city is not racist, we got problems, buddy. All right. She went to denounce Black Lives Matter, of course, and Antifa, and complained that residents who wanted to support our businesses and protect them were called white supremacists. Mr. Malone, we're in the twilight zone, sir.
Things starts from the top. When we look at President Trump and this administration, his administration, when we look at current lawmakers who agree with Trump, it triggers down. The insurrection, they don't call them domestic terrorism. They were peaceful protesters, comparing them to Black Lives Matter. People don't realize this, but stuff starts from the top. And I believe this situation is taking a notebook out of what they see at the top levels of government and the top levels of society. And so we gotta call a thing. And people model themselves after what they see. And so This is no different than a playbook out of the Republicans. The Republicans will not stand up against Trump and his racist tactics. He's still leading that party, So I honestly think we gotta really go into, and I know throughout the show I've talked about politics, but we really gotta go back through and take a look before we go into midterms, because everything flows from the top. And these people are taking a playbook, taking these plays out of the playbooks of the people that's leading them.
Yeah, and they understand a dynamic of indoctrination. Indoctrination means you are at a point where you can no longer logically think about what you believe. You can no longer challenge what you believe. So you will come across as very illogical, and it will be contrary to what you have been historically taught, but you are indoctrinated. You don't have the ability to challenge the information that you're being fed. Your brain is working a different way. Tribalism is extreme in American politics. What you see happening now, Mr. Malone, is that if the tribal leader says it, it doesn't matter if it's right, It doesn't matter if it connects with your values, as long as the tribal leader said it, their brains under that tribalism structure would start to recreate a reality in order to support the new dynamic created by the leader.